in various MNCs in India and abroad, and also worked with various reputed organizations such as ABB, Motorola, TYCU International, Bharti Airtel, and NXP, among others. He is passionate about coaching young startups, sharing experience with students, counseling, and enabling business to accelerate achievements and meet their strategic goals. He is also actively involved with an NGO, Girl Child Education. Mr. Balakumar is currently with a startup as an investor, promoter, and a facilitator. CSR strategic consultation, imparting supply chain skills, said continue to remain his primary focus. We welcome you, sir. Over to you.
Excuse me, sir, you're muted. Could you please unmute?
I'm coming. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to be with the students and that too post lunch. Its attendance is around 150 plus. I'm very happy to be here with you today to speak to you about how digitization is going to revolutionize how we look e-commerce today. Digital transformation isn't a trend or a buzzword. It is the evolution of how business is conducted in the digital age. Transformation is happening mainly due to technology advances, and that's going really fast. Increase in usage of smartphone. Currently, about 3.5 billion smartphones are being used. So there's a scope of 4 billion. Digital transformation is a e-commerce is exceptionally customer experience powered by technology. I'm moving to the next slide. Even though you are being students, everybody is being operated the e-commerce. Either you or somebody at home, it's being done. I'm sure most of us know this already, but e-commerce is a buying and selling of goods and services via the internet, and the transfer of money and data to complete the sale. So while you are doing the transaction, what is mainly arise is the data. Just to recollect back my earlier speaker, Nikhil was mentioning the data, what is coming in. It's also known as electronic commerce or internet commerce. Traditional business, face to face, that's what we do business, restrict to geographic or the location, interaction instantaneous. So you say that I want to buy it, you buy it, and the payment happen immediately. And there is no electronic medium there. E-commerce using electronic medium, online, across geography, there is no location restriction, 24/7, delivery may take some time. We are used to, this is going to result and used to zero intermediaries. There is nobody you are speaking with. Zero paper, lower transaction costs, global technology, and at your convenience at home. We are all aware what all the type of e-commerce are there. Here we go. As commerce continue to evolve, so do the way that is conducted. B2B, you all know, business to business, refers to a business selling a goods or services to another business, like a manufacturer or a wholesale guy sell to the e-commerce trader. It's not customer facing, it's not consumer facing, it actually involves product like raw material, software or product that are combined. Customer to business, consumer to business, sorry, I correct myself. Consumer to business is when an individual sells a service or product to business organization. Consumer to business encompasses influencers offering exposure, photographers, consultant, freelance, writers, etc. Then we see the consumer to consumer, C2C, refer to the sale of goods or service to another consumer. That's what we do in eBay and other platform. And the next is business to consumer. E-commerce is the most popular e-commerce model. Business to consumer mean that the sale is taking place between a business and a consumer. Like when you buy a rug from an online store, retail. Then the last one, direct to consumer. Direct to consumer is the newest model in e-commerce. Trends within this category are continually changing. It is going for the revolution every day it happens. Trends within the category are continually changing. Direct to customer mean that the brand is selling directly to the end consumer or the customer without going through the media of retail, distributor or wholesaler. Social selling via platform Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Snapchat are popular platform for direct to consumer sale. Now let's understand what are the driving forces behind this transformation. Before we dive deep into the topic of digital transformation, I think it's valid that we first answer the question, what is digital transformation? Let us take a simple definition. Every time you abandon a physical process in favor of digital process, you engage in a digital transformation strategy. In a simple term, setting aside a pen and paper in favor of note-taking app is from the digital transformation. So what are the driving forces behind the digital transformation? Shoppers are looking for new products online. According to Salesforce, 87% shoppers look for product information and helpful reviews online. Consumers expect to find up-to-date information and brand contact information quickly and easily using the internet. Customer expectation continue to rise. Modern consumer expect personalized across the range of channels. People expect their shopping basket to travel from device to device, and they enjoy using app. If you want to grow your bottom line, you need to cater the customer base. Brands need to strong online presence to show I'm online. The value, a growing number of brands now choose direct to consumer, that is the customer, rather than the wholesale marketing strategies. The benefit go both ways. Companies cut out the middleman. Not only the middleman, there is a cost involved with the middleman, and make more profit, and consumer get to communicate directly to the brand manufacturer. Now we will move to the technology part of it, which I will run through briefly. I normally take classes in detail of this technology. So let me run simple terms for you guys. We call it as a bird. Business leaders discipline themselves to be constant lookout for new technology. They apply a watch, pilot, partner, adapt, or discard the approach. For companies with good to move, there are several technologies that we are watching, and four that every party in the supply chain should be testing at some level. There are four technologies: blockchain, Internet of Things, robotic process automation, that's called RPA, and data science. Both technologies are interrelated. Blockchain or distributed ledger technology establishes trust in data. The data is transparent and the data is completely validated. The IoT provide vast quantity of relevant data points. RPA, robotic process automation, improves the accuracy of data. Data science extract value. Let's understand what is the digitization impact on e-commerce. Let us take a look some way digital transformation will change e-commerce in the coming months and years. And it's happening every week or every month. Things are changing for the better. Direct to consumer has been massive surge since the pandemic, and brands who did not embrace direct to customer e-commerce were caught scrambling to adapt. When brands adopt to direct to consumer approach, they reap more than extra cash. It's not only the money is a bottom line. What they get is more than the cash, what is for the business. They also get to know the customer better. This is what is called the customer experience, which is never been done by the brand directly dealing with customer. Build a long-term customer base. I love Puma. I want to use Adidas. So you develop an affection or attachment to the brand, and the brand will build more on that. AR software, augmented reality, game changer in the e-commerce industry because it helps shoppers visualize the product and create interest in that. For example, consumers can use an app to try out furniture item in the living space of your home. IKEA has already come. If you tell your bedroom like this, you can use the AR software and see that how the furniture will fit and how it look at your home. E-commerce has been ready for victory long before the pandemic. Now, economists project by 2024, e-commerce sales will top $476.5 billion, up to $279 billion in 2000. That is up from the $279 in 2017. Big data is big business, and it's a big part of digital business transformation. Huge e-commerce retailers like Amazon use big data to provide consumer with highly personalized shopping experiences. How do they make this magic happen? By using machine learning, ML we call it, to modify site algorithm based on previous consumer activity. So what you buy today, it has been recorded, and you will be informed what is the new come in relevance to your experience. E-commerce companies must offer their customer a range of payment method. So you have a lot of flexible payment method. And today I was reading about PayPal, which has come up with the thing. It's a buy now, pay later. So it's called PNPL. So there are a lot of method of payment available online. E-commerce companies offer a range of payment method which you are aware of it. Very, very popular. Buy now, pay later. have a large followers of the millennial population, and India has got the highest millennial demographic. Digitization is ever changing world, so business must always innovate. Innovation is a very, very key word and important, and optimize risk getting left behind. We heard too much on the things, so now we move to the next. With this use of big data, AI, artificial intelligence in e-commerce is impacting customer choices thanks to the knowledge of previous purchases, searched product, your interest, online browsing habit. It provides a personalized shopping experience. Let us watch this video to learn more.
Online grocery shopping is big business. Last year, us Brits spent just under £13 billion getting our big shop online. With so many orders to get through, retailers are now using AI-inspired automated systems to make sure our shopping is picked, packed and delivered on time. In Southeast England, one company have built something truly futuristic to meet demand. Wow! This automated facility is run by Ocado, and today over 2 million items will be picked for their customers. Here, a 50-item shop can be done in fewer than 10 minutes. Driving this efficiency is powerful artificial intelligence. And CEO of Ocado Technology, James Matthews, is going to give me an exclusive look at how it all works.
We are the equivalent of 35 large supermarkets in this one building. So we can take lorry loads of food, touch it just once and put it away in our grid for our robots to sort and store.
AI is used in almost every step of the process here, but at the very beginning, sticky toffee pudding, delicious. Humans are needed to check and unload the deliveries manually before feeding them into the system. So the food arrives here, AI must have helped it get here already?
Yep, so we have machine learning models that work out what our customers are likely to order, so we can place the right orders with our suppliers, so that it arrives here at the right time.
Right, so I'm pressed, hope ready? That crate is now sent into the grid. Bye-bye. See you on the other side. This is where robots and AI work together on an immense scale on what looks like a gigantic 3D chessboard. So here we are, the grid. This must be like the most impressive part of the whole process. How many robots have you got working here?
We've got about 2,000 robots today.
When an online grocery order is placed, the AI brain knows exactly where each crate containing a particular item is inside the grid. It'll then assign a robot to go and fetch a crate and deliver it to a picking station so the item can be packed for you. How do the bots get hold of something if it's quite far down?
Our fastest selling lines are at the top, so the bots get to them directly. But if we need to get to a slower moving line, then the bots essentially work together as a team and dig their way down the stack to get to the slow moving food and then take it over to the customer to be picked and packed.
Each robot can travel up to 9 miles an hour, and each day the whole fleet travels a distance equal to 4.5 times around the planet. It's an impressive operation, but one that still needs a human eye to check it's all running smoothly. So what's going on here then? This sort of looks like some kind of control hub.
So this is our engineering control center. Actually, the control of the robots is performed by artificial intelligence running in the cloud. Each bot is communicating with the AI 10 times a second, recording its position. And every bot is recording all of its data about all of its movements, so we can actually prepare maintenance ahead of time for the bots. And that's what happens here in the control center.
So what happens? Do they sometimes like topple over or get lost?
Generally they don't topple over, but every now and again a part will wear out, a bot will need to come to a halt. We'll often leave that bot out there for a portion of the day, and then at some point we'll go out and rescue it and schedule that from here.
While the robots here are busy finding the correct crates, over at the picking station, another set of robots are mechanically loading shopping bags into the delivery containers ready for picking. This is the final process of bringing your shopping order together, and it's a job that is done predominantly by humans.
So this is our pick station. Our artificial intelligence will choreograph bringing the customer's orders that we're picking and the right stock to go in the right time in the right place. And if you'd like to go over to the screen, you can see it's telling you to pick a jar, which you can pick from the side here. And then we scan it in front of there, and you see it's telling us to put it in the middle bag.
Yes, the AI even tells you how to pack the food correctly.
Once you've done the pick, you can hit the green button. And as you can see here, by the time you put that away, there's a new
next
product
one's
item
already
that's come,
here.
exactly.
So this is, they're wanting one Otabix.
Yep, and that is going in the right-hand tote.
Middle. I'm glad you're here. So the algorithm's working out, firstly, whose shopping belongs to who.
Yep.
Secondly, which heavier items should be in certain bags.
That's right.
So you're not bruising things.
Yeah, we don't want to put the tins in with the soft fruit, for example.
Once the item has been picked, the crate is sent back into the grid until it's needed for another order. So I placed an order that should be turning up at my house at 3 p.m. Could we be scanning it now?
It's quite possible. You might be here picking your own lunch.
They've even developed a robot that can work next to us humans and help pick the shopping.
This is one of the same stations that you were picking at. But here, of course, we've got a robot that's doing the picking and packing.
So how does it know, like, how to put it into the bag?
So this robot system, and this vision system, is incredibly clever. It has no prior knowledge of what the products are. It has a camera on it, and it uses a big machine learning model to look at the product, work out the dimensions, work out how to pick it up, and then how to put it in the bag. And this robot is picking real customer orders, so food we're seeing packed here will go out and be in someone's home this afternoon.
For the moment, this robot can't pick up delicate or perishable items, but who knows what the future holds. Now all that's left is to get your shopping delivered.
It's sitting there ready to go, and there's of course a lot of technology involved in our home delivery system as well.
Yes, AI has a part to play in this process too, working out the most accurate and efficient delivery routes based on time of day, roadworks, and even fuel consumption. What happens if someone changes their order?
Well, when someone changes their order, we have to replan the whole network, and our artificial intelligence will take that new order information and work out, once again, what the most efficient way of getting it to customers is. And we'll do millions of those calculations every second.
The AI future has been promised to us for years, but now it feels like it's really here. And for us consumers, it means things will be quicker, cheaper, and we'll get our sticky toffee puddings exactly when we want them. Thank you so much.
Now let's move to the big data. The data comes from the AR and IoT and other things, how the big data is going to work it out. Let's have a look at the data. The benefits of data-driven procurement. We call it procurement by way of data, not by way of the PR and other usual method. The future procurement is totally driven by the data, comes from the artificial intelligence, IoT, or as a Flex has mentioned, the tower, control tower. This is happening by combining the historical data, real-time information come from various digital technology, and customer insight. Something which is called as market insight, what they call it. The chief procurement officers can take proactive approach to decision making, optimize the supply chain, and be better prepared for disruption brought on external factors. Disruption is not only pandemic, it could be a sudden flood in some part of the globe, or it could be an earthquake in Japan. Anything could be the disruption. Today we are sitting at the intersection of artificial intelligence and procurement system with the aim to fully integrate AI to end-to-end system. It's on the horizon and rising fast. It's not yet happened, but it's going to happen. As the IoT, Internet of Things, is increasingly connected, big data will continue to grow increasingly bigger. With the level of data available to learning machine, nearly every procurement scenario becomes predictable. Nearly all movement is predictable to take a right decision, and every action is discoverable. When companies understand how to use the power of big data to create data-driven procurement strategies, the impact on the bottom line can be dramatic. There is no wastage. Now let's see the importance of supply chain strength. Not having a physical store provide a lot of room for e-commerce business to be creative and flexible with their capital, especially with a range of free business apps available. The key, therefore, is to have a roadmap of merchandise production and distribution through smart supply chain management. Your supply chain strategy will determine whether your primary business goal of providing quality product and services at lower cost for higher profit is functioning at its optimum potential. This applies to every aspect of e-commerce. An effectively supply chain model can accelerate your business process and delight your customers. I had been to the audit of Dell factory in Penang while I was working in US. There is no warehouse in Dell factory which produces the system, laptop or the PC, where the customer pay the money in advance. There is no inventory, there is no money loss, just produce and ship. The factory only assemble the product. There is no store, there is no receivables. Now let's see the trends, what is happening with the e-commerce. A small video should help to understand the trend.
The digital world has been fast-forwarded, and the future of commerce is governed by new rules, priorities, and expectations. So what does commerce look like in a post-pandemic world? We asked experts and looked at leading research to find out. Here are the 5 key trends you should act on in 2021. Nearly 150 million new shoppers came online during the pandemic, bringing e-commerce sales to an all-time high. New customers means new competition. As legacy wholesalers and retail giants sell direct to consumer for the first time, e-commerce is more competitive than ever.
It's getting the basics right that will be what sets the best performing brands apart.
To succeed, brands must take an omni-channel approach, using product and customer data to improve the user experience, especially on mobile.
The brands who do a better job of making it easy for people to buy the first product will probably be the ones that win over the ones that have very intricate, beautiful stores, but no one knows how to shop on them.
The greatest danger when we now push more novice users into online shop will definitely be still not achieving this UX baseline or basic implementation.
The pandemic has changed the way we buy, and nearly half of internet users say they'll continue to shop online. With a high demand for convenience, brands are making it easier to check out, converting in-person shopping into virtual experiences, and experimenting with 3D modeling and augmented reality.
AR is a great tool to help customers try their products on at home, or at least mimic trying them on.
Retailers need to get creative to reduce returns because returns can destroy a business.
Businesses face a balancing act around fulfillment, as 64% of consumers want their order shipped for free, while 75% say they would pay more for environmentally friendly products.
This world that we're living in right now has forced brands to think through the entire consumer journey.
One of the worst things you can do is have just a huge delta between customer expectation and experience.
In response, brands are turning stores into fulfillment centers, automating inventory management and streamlining the returns process.
You're going to see a lot more big brands have a consolidated supply chain.
Half of all global e-commerce sales happen on marketplaces, where search is often unbranded. That means brand building is more difficult, but more important than ever before.
You can no longer afford to have just a transactional site with lots of products. You've got to really become a destination for your merchants.
To stand out, businesses are injecting life into their marketplace product pages and building relationships across other channels through customer service, personalization, and community.
It's enabling convenience and personalization. Going into 2021, if you can have a strong community, you're going to be better positioned for sure.
The digital world has been fast-forwarded, and the future of commerce on fulfillment. as 64% of consumers want their orders shipped for free, while 75% say they would pay more for environmentally friendly products.
This world that we're living in right now has forced brands to think through the entire consumer journey.
One of the worst things you can do is have just a huge delta between customer expectation and experience.
In response, brands are turning stores into fulfillment centers, automating inventory management and streamlining the returns process.
You're going to see a lot more big brands have a consolidated supply chain.
Half of all global e-commerce sales happen on marketplaces, where search is often unbranded. That means brand building is more difficult, but more important than ever before.
You can no longer afford to have just a transactional site with lots of products. You've got to really become a destination for your merchants.
To stand out, businesses are injecting life into their marketplace product pages and building relationships across other channels through customer service, personalization, and community.
It's enabling convenience and personalization. Going into 2021, if you can have a strong community, you're going to be better positioned for sure.
Digital advertising is getting more competitive, and as brands prepare for a world without third-party cookies, the cost to acquire new customers will surge.
As customer acquisition goes up, our merchants are going to be very focused on customer loyalty.
To retain customers, brands are finding new ways to reward their most loyal buyers, exploring subscriptions, and communicating with customers directly.
The all-important email address, get that direct contact.
I think it comes down to where is your customer and where are they inspired, and then you deliver the message there.
For more insights and advice on the future of commerce, read the full report.
Let's move to the next slide. What's happening with the e-commerce business? What is thriving and what is struggling? What's booming? There are businesses unable to sustain and struggling to operate. Event management, weddings, service business that can operate online or remotely. Pivoting or limited by change, these businesses need to change their offering so it can be delivered online. These include cafe and restaurant. Now we call it as a cloud kitchen. Trade services, hair salons. Booming because of change created by COVID. Many of these online e-commerce stores, ones in particular that are booming, is supermarket, website and digital marketing agencies, accountants and lawyers, any service business that can easily do their work from home. And who are the leaders? E-commerce account for $1 trillion business sales every year. Here, some of the top e-commerce companies. Alibaba, China, by Jack Ma. Chinese company Alibaba is far the world's most successful e-commerce and retailer, hosting the largest business-to-business, C2C and B2C marketplaces across the globe. Their online profit have surpassed all US retailers. They are riding very high at the bottom, including Walmart and Amazon combined is lesser than their output. Amazon, largest e-commerce retailer in the US, and has changed face of retail so much that burning question, most retailer is how to beat Amazon is on the race. Walmart, once a top retailer stores. So while people living in US goes every once in a month, a weekend to Walmart, spend the whole day, purchase everything and come. Now they are shifting to the online business with a great result, offering traditional retail sales and grocery delivery and subscription services. eBay, one of the first e-commerce site, which everybody is aware, still dominate and the digital marketplace allowing business individuals to sell their product online. We have our friendly Flipkart in India. Tata has stepped in with Click, and Reliance is coming in a very, very, very big digital push. As we are all aware, tied up with the Facebook as well as Google, the $10 billion investment, it is to convert mom and pop shop to go for the digital supply, wherein the geo platform is going to work. This is the first word which I said. How do you sustain? As future entrepreneurs, you need to think outside the box. I always tell people, I mentored to remember, always ask question. Practice hands-on learning and additional theoretical learning. Go for additional learning all the time. Seek out and learn from innovators. Just talk to the people who put an effort already. Give yourself a creative environment to think, and lastly, collaborate across the board. I had this Ram's gallery. Before I conclude, I just want to take you on this thing. Once upon a time, there was an artist, Ram. At the beginning of his career, Ram sold most of his oil paintings via galleries and brought a healthy income. COVID stuck. No more galleries, no more tourist session, no more people. Ram converted his business from a gallery-centric enterprise into B2C, e-commerce venture overnight. Now that you have listened to my presentation, can you tell me a way in which Ram can convince buyer remotely to buy this art? Okay, let me give the answer. He has made his painting as real as possible so people can imagine his creation hanging in their room, at home, offices. He can do this by installing augmented reality software app on his website. Vishnu, thank you for your time. I'm open for questions.
It was a great and informative session, sir. Thank you for those enlightening words. So to begin with the Q&A,
yep.
We'll just quickly jump on to a question which was interesting. As we all know, due to this pandemic, everything is transforming towards digital, and everything is becoming digital. So many companies have successfully adopted it, but some have not, and some are still struggling in order to go through that transitional process. So how can a company update and equip itself to make up a digital platform for the purpose of collecting observational data and sharing them easily so that they can acquire a game-changing aspect?
As I mentioned in one of the slides, digital transformation is not happening overnight. You have to select the right digital aspect for your specific business. You cannot follow Amazon, or you cannot follow X, Y, Z to adapt to that style. If you could notice, Geo is already there. Facebook has invested the money. Still the study is going on. How you want to do that? The data are being gathered not only by your mobile phone usage. People have Amazon or a Google Home or Amazon, what is that called, thing at home. Whatever you are doing transaction, it is observing. The data are being gathered. So we normally order food at home. I asked where I got the food to Google Home next to me. It tells go to XYZ restaurant. So there is a back-end working is going on. So there is a big research is going on by many of the people who have not come to the digital transformation. They are studying it. Nobody knows what is data analysis. Nobody knows what is a quantum analysis. Augmented reality, yes, you guys are playing Pokemon. You guys are all know augmented reality, right? So you while walking on the street and playing the game. So nobody knows virtual reality. It's been learning is going on. That there is a mix of people who has an experience and worked before, the people who got the Salesforce knowledge. I'm talking about the software, and coming back into the system, the merging is happening. It is likely to happen, but it's going to be faster because of pandemic. Pandemic has pushed to the corner. Even the grand people living at home, they know how to operate, order the food, order their medicines, sitting at home. The doctors, I'm in a startup. I was a MD of a healthcare company. The doctors never want to touch the computer. Now it's only telemedicines. Doctors don't want to meet you, whether you wear a mask or not. So doctors are jumping into telemedicines, and you know whether it is medical, online medical pharmacy is plenty. They attract you, giving 10% discount, 20% discount, pay me later, we will do the subscription. So they are all training themselves to how they want to do that. I also mentioned that it is not completely invented. If you could see that there was a delivery from X supplier given to you, and I have not received it, whom you have given it? Oh, then they realized they made it, the OTP will come to your mobile phone. You give the OTP. So this is a learning. It is happening in the last 2 months. Before that, there is no OTP. That fellow comes and give it to somebody whack it, or you yourself will say that I have not received it. So it is a pain on the e-commerce. So the learning is going on, and the young mind like you guys have to think outside the box. So I'm also a mentor in WellTech, where all the guys who have studied and come for the entrepreneurs, everybody is less than 30 years old. Just put their thought and think something different. As I seen the news yesterday, Blu-ray box has been created for the currency to be cleansed. So these things, thinking it's innovation will help, and it is still going on. Lot of big companies, whether Aditya Birla has got a Van Heusen, name all the things, they have not come to the retail yet. They are the big giant. Reliance still, they have the Reliance digital shops are open, so big, nobody there. But they have yet to come, but they have a nice platform. There are studies going on, and being a nation like India, we are a little conservative. We try to understand and come back. The guys like Amazon are making money during that period. So we are going to be there. We are not there yet.
Thank you for that answer, sir. Looking on to something more, relatable to supply chain management, also bringing in that into digital transformation. When we talk about SCM, there is a major part of warehousing also which comes into picture, inventory management, which you talk about. So, what do you think is the key factor, or as my last question was, like, game-changing action plan which can be brought into in terms of digital transformation in warehouse processes, which can make the process more simplified, automated, and cost-effective manner?
Well, it's a good question, and I have shown you the video on artificial intelligence. That's a warehouse in UK. Warehouses are completely automated, and the current business where I am in, we have tied up with a Singapore-based company called Intelligust. It does your warehouse completely electronic. So that means when your inventory is going down, the warehouse is a common warehouse or a particular warehouse of a company. If it is a common warehouse, I am keeping X company, keeping the stock. Once my inventory is going down or moving fast, it's sensitized. The sensor sensitized the inventory is moving fast. Are you with me? There is a sensor which sensitizes the inventory is moving fast. So it order automatically. So it is intelligent procurement, the data-based procurement is happening that way, which is already coming. Our warehouse technology does it. And second thing, it also monitor the shipment coming from supplier X. It track the entire route. It also track, it's all IoT based. It also track, is there any unevent is going to happen on the way. So the item is coming from Bombay to Bangalore. En route, there is a protest by farmers. Okay, so your truck is not going to come. You are going to be delayed for 2 days. So you get cloud information to you in advance. You can either reroute the truck or get the alternate method of arranging the inventory. So the best focus of every level of supply chain is going to be customer satisfaction. Last month, I had a lecture with MMA. There's a lot of questions from automobile people. There is a big shift in supply chain. Earlier in organization, we are the cost center. Now we have shifted as a business center. The reason being, the supply chain is going to be directly impact the customer, the end customer. It's a e-commerce is the one, is a business to customer. So you need to work with the sales force when they want, why they want, how they want, where they want. It's a 5W and 1H will be asked directly to the business people. So you become a business center, a shift from cost center to business center is a big result for supply chain. That means you are not below. While I worked as a procurement guy in ABB in Bangalore, so there is a pressure from sales, hey, I need the supply, you get it? There's a pressure from supplier, I said, I cannot do that, I need time. And your shop floor will be asking, give me the material. So you are always under pressure. Now you know when, where, how they want it, and you can work it back with the partners in a better way. So there is a big thing is happening because of the technology in the warehouse space, which is completely automated, which is completely censored IoT, which is also being the blockchain, where the entire details of the thing is available in the blockchain, which is transparent and which can be seen by everyone. Earlier, till I say when is the truck coming, nobody knows. Now everybody knows where the truck is. We are not bullshitting. So I said, no, sir, in 2 hours it will come. So the common say in Bangalore, sir, 2 minutes, you will never have it. You will have a coffee, tea and everything, and night truck won't come. So now it's all visible, transparent, and it is going to be highly communicatable with the cloud and blockchain. So it's going to be good for you. So while you are working in a supply chain, and you have to keep your antenna up. That's very, very important. There are going to be interesting days ahead.
That was very informative. And with one more interesting question which I have in my mind, when we always talk about transformation or advancement in terms of growth and development in the area of automation, robotics, and various other technologies has been involved and which has been brought up in day-to-day era of industrial development. So the question is does this have any saturation point where everything is gonna stop and this is gonna be the standard thing for at least next 5-10 years? What do you think based upon your experience?
Good question. But let me tell you a small example. So I used to travel. I was responsible for around 12 countries in my role as a vice president for US. I travel all the countries. When I go, I'm talking about early 80s, I picked up a video camera in Japan. That's a big one. I had to keep it in a shoulder and take it. The next trip I went, the camera has become small and it became a CD. I said, okay, let me pick up this, the older one, give it to somebody. And next visit I went, it became a stick. Okay. Now there is no digital camera. Okay. So you just see the span of growth, the span of innovation, span of technology, span of adoption, span of interest. It's very, very, very fast. Especially the Z category people and millennials, you guys are very much used to all the thing which is technology, and you are easy to adapt. You ask me to sit and play the game, my son used to play that, I said I get bored. But they just sit and play for the whole night. So the adoption has become very, very fast. So the development is going to continue to grow. So why I said that video camera is the technology is growing. You don't know what is next. People are talking Ford is closed, General Motor is closed. We were in US last but 1 year. We haven't seen much of the usual cars. It's all Tesla. Everywhere is Tesla. We haven't seen the car. We went there to take it. We didn't know how to drive the power-operated car, but we took it and tested it. Everywhere is Tesla. It's all going off. So nobody expected. And 3 days back, there is a news. Reliance, Adani, and IOC, Indian Oil Corporation, and NTPC, they entered into hydrogen generation. This is going to stop the fuel. The fossil fuel is going to be off. How fast it's going to happen? There is a pressure on climate control, how you change the climate. And the fossil fuel, getting fossil fuel from UAE through Afghanistan, inverted commas, all are going to be challenges, but the business is changing for the better. So there is not going to be any saturation. Things are going to change for better, and better tomorrow is going to be the reality.
Okay, sir. Thank you for answering that question. It has already been always been revolving in my mind. Like, is there going to be any saturation point? So, thanks for clarifying on that. I think with that we can end the session with some conclusion point from your end. Since the theme is going to talk about people, process, and technology for supply chain excellence, what do you have to say for our young minds over here? For their growth and development and getting an industry and transforming it into a next level?
One thing which I can very well say that I wish to be 30 years younger. The future is going to be very, very bright, and you guys have taken the supply chain as a forefront to work on it. Supply chain is a key part where you are the only guys, you deal with external stakeholders like suppliers, and you stick with the internal stakeholders like finance. You need to make the payment, like business, and like other people, because you have to get the work done. Many functions in the company, because I'm basically a lawyer and a company secretary by qualification. I worked as a legal and other functions. I moved to supply chain by doing my master and came for that, moved as a supply chain and moved to the level. Supply chain function is the one function where you have the real right exposure. Now the technology, digital transformation which is happening, please don't stop studying only supply chain. There are short courses available for you to do lot of things about digital transformation, data analysis, how to do the AI and IoT, and how to understand the analysis, how to do the data analysis. It's nothing is to get scared of it. We all know barcode, we all know QR code. It's going to be a sensor added to that. Nothing much. These are all the ones which are going to collect the data. No data can be mapped without knowing the process. The process is known to you, which you study, or your experience working in that. Unless otherwise your intelligence goes there, there is no artificial intelligence. So create it, learn a lot, study it, understand how the intelligence can be given to the machine, which can learn and which can do the artificial intelligence. That is a mirror image of your intelligence. So tomorrow somebody will think different. That intelligence will add it to that. So that's what's going to be. Don't get scared of all this digital thing is coming. I could see most of the people are scared. What's going to happen to my job? It's going to improve. It's going to improve. You have seen the AI warehouse. All the people who are doing it, they are entering the data. The robots are doing the mission what you ask them to do it. Please understand that machine learn from your intelligence. It is called artificial intelligence. What you tell them, it does, but you need to know what to tell them. So that you have to learn it. That's a good scope, very, very nice scope. You are studying that, but don't stop there. Continue your learning because there is no saturation. It's going to improve. It's going to improve, continuous improvement. So I'm a black belt from Motorola. I always see that define, measure, improve, continue improve.
Thank you for those words, sir. It was really valuable, and it was really great having you over here in this session with us today. So thanks for that. Yeah, over to you, Shivangi.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like Yashaswini to give the vote of thanks. Yashaswini, are you there?
Yes. Good afternoon, all. What started as a student engagement discussion in the class has culminated with the successful completion of a national level event. I feel honored to propose the vote of thanks on this special day of student conclave. On behalf of JAIN Deemed to be University and the team, I'm immensely grateful to all speakers for sharing their knowledge and expertise with us. We convey our regards and gratitude to the resource persons for kindly accepting our invitation and for making the session intellectual. We thank our professor, Mr. Puttaparthi Lakshmanath Mohan sir, for encouraging us and moderating the sessions. We thank Nandan Naresh sir for guiding us throughout, sir. Without your support, this wouldn't have been possible. Thank you, sir. We thank all the participants for attending the conclave and for the active participation and representing the valuable views. I acknowledge the unwavering support for the department, faculty, and the student teams for the event. We personally thank Mr. Anand, Mr. Pratap, and team for all the help and cooperation extended for the successful of this event. We thank you for being with us, and it's been a very great pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yashaswini. So here we come to the end of the session. I request everyone to switch on their camera since we need to take a group picture. I request everyone to please switch on the camera. Thank you everyone for participating, and
it was a great pleasure having you all over here. Certificates will be given for this event within a week. Thanks for joining us today.